Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Come along on this habal ride, motorbike taxi, going from Uptown Cebu City to IT Park Cebu City, which is a city within a city, is how I like to describe it. I'm going to touch on a number of subjects, a little bit about travel, a little bit about shopping and supply chain issues here, out of stock items, 301 Ramos Bar there. A lot of expats hang out there, interesting place. And I will point out some sites along the way. Just ahead there, you have Summit Hotel Fuente, which is on Fuente. If you go up here to the light, and you can no longer. They've got a roadblock here. Everybody has to take this little detour through this little shopping area. You got a Bo's Coffee, some dessert places, little restaurants, I think. Tall building ahead there is Horizon 101, 52, 53 story is the tallest, and that is on Mango Avenue. We're going to go up here to light on Mango Avenue. Anyway, I'll point out a few things and cover some topics as well. Jollibee got one on not every corner. In fact, I saw one the other day that was actually closed, which is unusual because I know they're expanding even in the USA. And you've got a leather shop here. One of my friends got a just back a couple stores on the right. We are crossing Mango Avenue. Cross over on the right, what they call Mango Square, used to be a big entertainment area. Now they have a new disco that's opened up there. A lot of younger kids hanging out there. But other than that, all the bars that were there 3, 4, or 5 years ago, they are not there any longer. Down this side street, you got La Lucha, Mexican food. I order from there at least once a month. And got Century Plaza to the left. Got Century, I believe it's Century Hotel over there. I've never been in there yet. Not sure about that. Got a number of hotels along here. Quite a number. Taller buildings to the center right is the Baseline Condominiums. I've done a video there. For those of you who don't know, I've been doing videos since about 2015 when I first came here. 3 trips. Real estate agents in the malls would grab me and say, "Come and look at my condominiums." And I've got a lot of condominium videos. What do they rent for? What do they sell for? What do they look like? What do you get? Rentals also, furnished, unfurnished. Got a big new hotel. You got Robinson's, new Baseline Residences to the left, Citadines Hotel. Nice, very, very nice place. You got Robinson's Supermarket on the lower floor of that area. Grocery store. I think that's apartments or condominiums on the right, not positive. But this is a busy street. Could use a couple more lanes, but there's just no room to expand here in Cebu City. Some people have asked me where the red light district is in Cebu City, and this street actually tends, even since I was first here, tends to have working girls in the evening, later at night. Do you want a massage, sir? That type of thing. Not really a red light district, but you get those kind of people hanging out on that area. Traffic laws are loosely, very loosely enforced, if enforced at all. They've got more traffic enforcers they've hired. Will stand on side of some streets and pull people over, check their documents mostly. I don't think I've ever seen a police vehicle pull anybody over for doing something. And as we come up here, there is a just behind us. They're my favorite burger place, Big Tom's, out of business. They're again 2 years of lockdowns, and they finally went out of business, as well as several of the bars that used to be on, like Marshall's used to be on Mango Square. After 17 years, they said, no, we can't do it anymore. We're coming up here to Escario Street. We're going to take a right here and head over to Gerardo and then on up. Busy streets, got a lot of things going on. They've got hotels, they've got little, what we call strip malls, little, not big malls, but little areas, block area with shopping and restaurants and various types of things. Interesting street, for sure. And yeah, these motorbikes, I was running a little bit late, which is why I got a call from a friend. It was important to take that call, so planning a trip out of town, and some things came up, so we had to adjust our plans for a trip. I'll be doing a video about that. And talking about travel, you know, what the government official line is, and what reality is on the street can oftentimes be two different things. And it's difficult because every LGU, local government unit, every barangay, every town, every city can set their own restrictions and travel requirements, and so it's difficult. You just have to talk to people who have made trips to various areas to find out what their experience is, and then that could change overnight. Depends upon who you're dealing with on the various end of your travel. So we're gonna see how this goes here, and I will update you soon. Now, one thing some of you asked, where's Billy's Bar at? Billy used to own or be one of the owners. There were one or more owners, I guess, of El Gecko Bar, which is now Howling Dog. And I will point that out as we get up here ways. They're on Escario Street, and we're going to cross Gerardo Avenue, and then they're just a long block and a half or so on the left up here. Got a big sign out there that says Billy's. As far as international travel, slowly, very slowly, more airlines are starting to service the Philippines, but there's still not nearly as many coming in here. I checked Uptown Cebu International Airport the other day, and they've only got a very few number of airlines coming in here. And so a friend of mine's going back to Texas, USA, and he's going around the opposite way. He's going through the Middle East on, I think, Qatar Airlines, one of those airlines in the Middle East, and it's several more hours longer that way. But that was the flight that he found. I read that, I think it was American Airlines, were canceling some domestic flights. Not just canceling flights, they're canceling airports, 3 airports. Toledo, Ohio, which is a pretty big airport in itself. They're canceling flights there because they don't have enough pilots. You know, I've said it many times. 2 years ago, they shut down all travel basically worldwide. These airlines, travel industry, hotels, they early retired people, they furloughed people, they laid off people, and you don't just snap your fingers one day and everybody's back in place. It doesn't work. That takes time. Golden Peak Hotel there. We just crossed Gerardo Avenue. And it takes time to get your planes back up and running. There are tens of thousands of them parked around the world to make sure they can fly properly. And here is Billy's Bar right here. We just crossed Gerardo Avenue. Little bar though there. They've got a billiards table in there. A couple of condominiums over there. To the right up here is IT Park, Cebu Business District. Many condominiums. I've done there again. I've done videos in many of those areas. So it takes a long time to get pilots and stewardesses, flight attendants. I've even read that the airlines are asking ticket agents to come in and work the various areas where they can, because there's a shortage of people. They laid millions of people off, basically. Ayala, the big Ayala Mall, is straight ahead to the right up here, and this is a very, very busy intersection with no traffic signals, but it works and it's efficient. People go from one direction, and people stick their nose out from the other direction and the other side. Very seldom, but you do hear the impatient horns occasionally, but not very patient. Not very often. Filipinos tend to be tolerant and patient people. Anyway, this was I was gonna meet my friend. He's going back to the USA next Wednesday for a month or two, and then he's going to Thailand for a month, I think, and then coming back to the Philippines. And he has made the statement that 2 or 3 months at a time in the Philippines is enough. And he likes to travel, likes to move around a little bit. In fact, he has built 2 of his own experimental airplanes, and it tells me about putting them together and flying around. Very interesting. Gosh, if I had the time and money to do something like that, that would be great. And went up here to see him one last time, and to do a video of his Airbnb, and I'll be doing a video about Airbnbs and other types of things, what you get, what they cost here, very soon as well. As far as international travel, basically the restriction still, you need to be fully vaccinated, and they may be changing the definition of fully vaccinated here in the future to come into the Philippines. Now, Cebu Governor Garcia stated that you could come in unvaccinated into Cebu City, Cebu Province, but you'd have to do a quarantine and testing. But I don't think the airlines are going to allow you to get on. So you need to contact airlines to see what the requirements are, because they can change week to week, month to month. And I haven't heard any talk in the news or anywhere about when the Philippines might open up. And same thing happened with when they decided, well, we're going to let in vaccinated people. There was very little notice ahead of time. And these other countries, I think the majority country, over half the countries in the world have opened up without any restrictions. No masks, no vax required, none of that stuff. I did see some figures. I think like 55 countries are open without restrictions presently. No masks, no vaccine required, nothing. And a few of them might have spot health checks or something. But anyway, the Philippines has a huge potential to draw in tourists. They need the tourist dollars. And I hope they don't blow it. They're rated as one of the worst affected in a number of ways. They're rated as, I believe I have read, they are projected to be one of the slowest economies to recover. And the debt to GDP ratio is the second worst in Southeast Asia. I think I saw the headline the other day. So they desperately need to open up to allow the tourists in, the millions of dollars, billions of pesos to come in and put people back to work to help the economy. And we're coming up to IT Park on the right up here. We had an election recently, so we have a new administration coming into play here, so we're not sure what they're going to do with new advisors and new leadership, so we'll have to wait. Things could happen quickly. I hope they do. But this is IT Park. It's a city within a city. You've got banks, you've got corporate buildings, you've got restaurants and a few bars, not a lot. You have hotels. You've got an new Ayala Mall here, about a year and a half old. You got the Asia Premier condominium there. Sugbo Mercado, which is a huge area. I think they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Lots of food courts, so you can get this guy. He should ask me where he was, where he had to go, but he's asking this guy for directions to Sugbo Mercado area, Vida. Anyway, he got the directions a little bit wrong. Dropped me off a block from where I wanted to go, but I was there early, so no big deal. One other thing I want to touch on here, the last few weeks, I've gone out searching for different items that I wanted or needed, and I've got a new headset, so it'll be interesting to hear if the sound is better now. But most electronic stores out of stock, sir. They did not have I bought a Logitech. I've had good luck with them over the years. The last one I had was just kind of a generic, real cheap one, but it did a pretty good job. And you've got the Ayala Mall to the right with restaurants and different things. But a number of things I was looking for, wanted or needed, and out of stock, sir, out of stock. And what should have taken me an hour took me half the day, and I never did find a number of items that I wanted to get out of stock. So the supply chain is an issue around the world, including the Philippines. So you might want to bring things that are important to you. You might want to bring them along if you get to travel. And then this is a big IT park area here with restaurants. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.